So, welcome to the rig rundown. Now, we'll go over this is typically what you used to play live
Yeah, pretty much.
in this section. Or swap things in and out.
Yeah, this is pretty much what I use. So I always bring that.
The TR8.
The drums.
Yeah.
Also, I always bring the Octatrack. That's my master clock.
Yeah.
I run a few samples out of it.
So you do the flipping. Do you use the scenes and stuff as well on the Octatrack?
I use the scenes, but I don't sample back into it. I use it pretty much as a pretty basic sampler.
Yeah, and mix. So you replay samples.
Replay samples. Sometimes there might be riffs from my own records.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Because it's too hard to bring the equipment with you.
Yeah.
Especially when you travel overseas.
Yeah.
So quite often I'll sample my own stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So the Octatrack's your brains.
Yeah. Well, it drives the clock. That's your main drum and rhythm machine. In Melbourne or Australia gigs, I tend to bring this. It's rather big, but I love the sound of that.
So that's the Behringer
version of the 808.
Yep. Yeah.
The RD8. That's
so
usually
kicks preferable of which
it depends.
Depends.
With Electro, I do change it to this kick drum sometimes. And this sounds really good out. It sounds better out than it does in my studio.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Places like Section 8 and stuff, because the sound system's probably not super good. It sounds amazing. But racing that, yeah, it really does. This one, I do bring it sometimes instead of this guy.
The little Korg Electro.
Yeah.
And, which one is that one? The
ER, it's the ER, but it's the MK2. It's the second version.
Yeah.
It's all digital. Whereas that's analog signal. That's digital. What do they call it at Roland? They have a special name for it.
Yeah. But it's basically digital.
But that's a great travel size drum machine for what it can do.
Yeah, and is that analog as well? And it's got digital effects.
It's digital. I don't think anything on it is analog. But it does. It sounds great.
Yeah.
Analog 4 has been
long
my favorite sort of synth. Does those deep chordy sounds that I really like. That is in pretty much all my music almost. And I tend to just with live gigs just run one channel out of it, maybe a second sound on top, and then I run.
So you just change patterns for that single sound as you go along.
I'll have different settings programmed for every pattern.
Yeah.
So I'll try to save a kick per pattern, so you can change things and it members them.
Yeah.
But I have gone and programmed all the performance knobs.
Yeah.
So the top rows for the first sound and the bottom rows for the second one, which has your filter cut off. Then your envelopes. Oh, that's your envelope and that's your amp. And yeah, that way I can change it on the fly.
Yeah.
And shape it.
I wish more boxes had things like that, actually.
It also has really good effects, like the delay and reverb in it is beautiful.
The chorus is pretty nice too.
Yeah. So I quite often also just run the Blofeld.
Oh, yeah.
That?
Yeah.
Straight input and play live keys from the key step.
Okay.
So that just plays straight into the effects unit on that.
So you're playing the A4 with the key step. Is that what you're saying?
No. So basically,
coming.
That is only controlled by that in MIDI.
Oh, so you're playing the Biofeld with the
in real time
with the keys here for the little Arturia, and you're running it through the A4.
That's right. So it gets the effects.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right.
And also because I don't have enough channels in the performance mixer, that helps to run it into that.
Yeah, and the performance mixer being
that one
is hidden behind the camera. You can't see it. What he takes out live. Yeah, okay. He takes it Zone 96 out live. You're running pretty much everything here into that, or do you run, like as you said, you run the Biofeld through the A4? Do you run anything through the Octatrack?
I don't run anything in the Octatrack.
No.
I have enough channels in the DJ mixer,
okay.
So that's the only one I do it to, and mainly because that way it keeps the reverb and the delay on the pads, which is perfect.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, so to speak. You got 2 extra channels, modular now.
So that's my modular case that I just for live stuff, which has a DFAM in it.
Yeah, fancy knobs.
It has a sampler oscillator, which is
You get some great sounds there.
yeah. So it's supposed to be like a.
I've tried and failed. I don't know how you're doing it.
Well, it takes a lot of enveloping and filtering, so they run through filters.
Yeah, you do run it through.
Through envelopes, and I run it through mats as well.
Oh, okay. Goosh. There's a bit of gain staging going on stuff.
So it
there.
doesn't become a static, loopy sound. It lives a little bit by itself.
Yeah,
I think that's important. Then there's braids in there.
Yeah.
I run some basic lead riffs, you could call them, I guess, out of.
Yeah. It does have some great. It means digital, but I just actually put it in a techno case myself.
Yeah, no, it's great for its space too.
Give a little bit of a filter and you're off basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And what else? Then I run the SC2 into the modular case mixer as well.
Oh, that's okay. Is that a VCA or is it just a mixer?
That's just a mixer.
That's just a mixer. Okay, so that everything was that we were hearing. We heard it a bit earlier, by the way. Sounded fabulous. I was thinking, what is that? So that was the SE.
Yeah, that's the SC2, and that's been triggered by this.
Ah, you got the little box there, the Metropolix.
Yeah, so it's the solo unit, which used to come. You can put it in a Euro, but also comes in a box.
Yeah,
and the box has MIDI in and out, which makes it.
Yeah,
better.
so just plug it into the SE and you're right.
Well, you can plug it into any synth. And it's fantastic. But I run it with the SC2, and it gives you that electro riff sound.
Yeah,
you can't really get with a 16-step sequencer.
Does the SE2 respond to the gate lengths and stuff?
Yep,
it does.
It does. You can change gate from that.
Yeah, that was one of the great things I liked about the Metropolis. Yeah, one Metropolis I've got the earlier one where you can change a gate length and it really changes things up with the sound, right? And it's great to do on the fly. I also see a Korg.
Yeah,
the SQ64.
Is
that what's that doing?
That's kind of the brain for the modular.
Okay, yeah.
So everything's that is triggered in the modular is triggered from here.
Yeah, okay.
So it does 4 sets of sequencing, 3 sets of synths, and 1 set of drums. The drums I pretty much just keep as a trigger.
Yeah.
That runs in there.
Yeah.
The modular to time the maths. So it has a cycle like LFO that affects the filters.
Yeah. So you're not using the drum patterns for drums. You're using it to trigger envelopes and things for your synths, voices and stuff.
But I keep it pretty simple, like literally 1 or 2 patterns. That's it.
Yeah.
And the rest is independently sequenced from here. So the top row would be the
4MS, yeah. Oh, I love that. How do you love that sound.
And that's the braids.
Oh, nice. Yeah, a little Behringer filter does sound quite nice too, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
And then the
haters of Behringer. Sorry about that.
And bottom row is my DFAM.
Oh, yeah. No, can't go wrong with the DFAM.
I run that as my 303, basically. It's my baseline.
Yeah.
And it goes great with drums.
It does. Yeah. All right. That's the live set. Up. Yes. That's it. All right. Well, thank you for showing us around. And we'll move into your lives.
You're most welcome.
All right. Cheers. Thank you.